Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Napoleon Hill. And tonight, I want to speak directly to the part of you that wakes up every morning carrying dreams, but also carrying doubts. The part of you that opens its eyes with hope, but often slides back into habits that steal your potential. The part of you that feels the weight of your own greatness, even when the world does not see it yet. Because if you are here, you are searching for something more than motivation. You are searching for direction. You are searching for clarity. You are searching for a way to take control of your life from the very first moment of your day. And that begins with one truth. Your mornings are the steering wheel of your destiny. What you do in the first 30 minutes after you wake up will shape the next 12 hours of your life. And what you repeat every morning becomes the rhythm of your future. Let me tell you something that most people never learn. You cannot change your life until you change your mornings. Your morning is the gatekeeper between who you were and who you are becoming. Most people wake up and immediately fall into the same loops, reactive thoughts, noise, distraction, rushing, scrolling, autopilot. And they wonder why their life feels scattered, why their mind feels heavy, why their direction feels foggy. It is because they are entering the day without intention, without declaration, without grounding. But you are here because you feel the pull of something greater, something whispering inside you. You were made for more than this. Start your day like it matters. And I'm here to give you the hard truth wrapped in clarity. Your life doesn't transform when you make big decisions. Your life transforms when you make small decisions consistently. And the smallest, yet most powerful decision of all is this: how you begin your morning. Every morning, before the world speaks to you, you must speak to yourself. Before you open your phone, you must open your mind. Before you react to life, you must command your life. Before you let the day shape you, you must shape the day. Because if you do not take control of your morning will take control of you. Let me ask you this. When you wake up, what is the first thought that enters your mind? Is it clarity or confusion, direction or distraction, commitment or avoidance? Your first thoughts are not accidents. They are habits. And habits become identity. Identity becomes destiny. So tonight, I want to teach you the first principle of transformation. You must create a morning practice that anchors your spirit, sharpens your mind, and sets your purpose on fire. You must do something every morning that reminds you who you are, what you want, and what you will no longer tolerate. Because every day you wake up, you have two choices: fall back into sleepwalking through your life, or rise into the disciplined, focused, powerful version of yourself that your future is begging for. But here's the truth no one wants to say out loud. Most people want a better life, but they do not want a better morning. They want success without structure. They want confidence without preparation. They want clarity without reflection. They want improvement without intention. But you cannot harvest what you do not plant. And your morning is the fertile soil where your life grows. Every successful person, every leader, every creator, every disciplined mind has learned one thing: your morning is the command center of your mind. Guard it, direct it, use it. So what must you do every morning to change your life? You must do the exact opposite of the world. Where others chase noise, you chase clarity. Where others rush, you rise slowly and intentionally. Where others start distracted, you start disciplined. Where others drown in reaction, you breathe in direction. The morning is not about what the clock says. It is about what your spirit says, what your mind decides, what your heart accepts. And the first step is remembering something powerful. Every morning is a new beginning. And a new beginning is a new identity. You are not the person you were yesterday. You do not need to carry yesterday's confusion, yesterday's mistakes, yesterday's patterns, yesterday's emotions. Each morning gives you a reset, a clean page on which you decide the story you will write today. But that reset only works if you claim it, if you give yourself permission to choose differently, to move differently, to think differently, to start differently. Because your morning is not simply time, It is an agreement with your future self that you will not betray your potential today. So here is the truth you must carry. The world will not change until you change your mornings. Your mornings will not change until you change your choices. And your choices begin with one moment, the moment your eyes open. That very moment right there is where your life begins, not when you get to school, not when you start work, not when your day gets busy, not when motivation kicks in. Your life begins the second you decide what kind of day you will allow yourself to live. And this is the hard truth if you wake up and fall straight into reaction, checking messages, scrolling, rushing, escaping. You enter the day already defeated, already behind, already disconnected from yourself. But if you wake up and choose intention, quiet, discipline, purpose, clarity, you enter the day with power. You enter it with direction. You enter it with ownership. And the day begins to bend in your favor. Because your morning shapes your mind, and your mind shapes your life. This is why I am telling you tonight, do this every morning. Build a moment of stillness and purpose before you let the world enter your mind. Before the noise, create clarity. Before the tasks, create direction. Before the stress, create peace. Before the distractions, create intention. Do this not once, not occasionally, but every single morning until your identity shifts, because your life will not change through a burst of force. It will change through repetition. And when you repeat a powerful morning practice, you rewire your thoughts, your habits, your emotions, your self-belief, your path. This is the beginning of your transformation, the moment you take responsibility for how you enter the day. But this is only the surface, only the introduction, only the door. Because in part 2, we go deeper into the exact inner practices that shape your mornings into power, discipline, confidence, and direction. Part 2 is where you learn the mental ritual that forges greatness. The morning mindset Napoleon Hill believed separates the successful from the distracted, the focused from the scattered, the disciplined from the drifting. If part 1 opened your eyes, part 2 will awaken your spirit. You heard the calling in part 1, the calling to claim your morning before the world claims you. But now we go deeper into the inner mechanics of a powerful life, into the ritual of greatness, into the discipline that reshapes identity. Because you can wake up early, you can sit quietly, you can avoid your phone, you can hold stillness in your hands. But if your mind does not know what to do with that stillness, you remain the same. A morning is not made powerful by silence alone. It is made powerful by intention, by the message you give yourself before the world gives you its noise. So listen. Listen with your whole mind, your whole attention, your whole spirit every morning. You must direct your mind before your mind directs you. Because your mind wakes up before your body. It races, it wanders, it pulls you into yesterday. It drags you toward fear, pressure, and noise. Unless you step in and take command. The morning is not about waking up the body. The morning is about waking up the self. Let's go there. Let's go into the exact inner work that reshapes your morning, and with it, your destiny. The first morning law: decide your identity before the day begins, before you check anything, before you talk to anyone, before you think about tasks, responsibilities, or problems. You must ask yourself one question: who am I choosing to be today? Not yesterday's version of you, not the version that struggled, not the version that drifted, not the version that doubted, the version you choose right now. Because every morning you wake up with a blank identity, and you pick one up the moment you start thinking. If you wake up and think like a distracted person, your day becomes distraction. If you wake up and think like a tired person, your day becomes heaviness. If you wake up and think like a scattered person, your day becomes chaos. But if you wake up and choose, I am a disciplined person today. I am a focused person today. I am someone who moves with purpose today. All your mind aligns itself with your choice. Your behavior follows. Your habits follow. Your actions follow. Identity is the engine of your day, and you must start it yourself. This is the first ritual, the unseen ritual. The ritual no one talks about. Don't pick up your phone. Don't pick up your past. Pick up your identity. Every morning whisper it. This is who I choose to be today. And the day begins to bow in your direction. The second morning law: direct your mind toward purpose. Most people start their morning wondering, what do I have to do today? But the powerful begin with, why does today matter? Because tasks without purpose feel heavy, but tasks with meaning feel powerful. You must remind yourself every morning why you wake up, why you work, why you grow, why you push, why you refuse to settle. Purpose is fuel, purpose is energy, purpose is direction. Without purpose, mornings feel routine. With purpose, mornings feel alive. Napoleon Hill said something that echoes through time. The man who knows his purpose marches ahead, while the man without purpose drifts. You cannot begin your day drifting. You must begin your day marching, not rushing, marching, focused, deliberate, certain. So ask yourself every morning, why am I getting up today? What future am I building? What part of my destiny will I touch today? And watch your energy rise. Watch your clarity sharpen. Watch your discipline come alive. The third morning law: set one dominant direction, not 5, not 10, not a list of 20 goals, one clear direction. Every powerful day begins with a single focus, one thing that, if completed, moves your life forward. Most people stay overwhelmed because they start their mornings drowning in long task lists. Their energy divides, their mind scatters, their discipline weakens. But a mind that chooses owing direction becomes unstoppable. Every morning, speak it to yourself. This is the one thing I'm move forward today. And then build your day around that one thing, not around distractions, not around noise, not around other people's priorities. Your priority, your direction, your momentum. That is how you gain power, not by doing everything, but by doing what matters. One direction. Every morning, every day, every step. Momentum is born from focus. The fourth morning law: command your emotions with stillness before the world pressures you, before people pull you, before tasks demand you. You must ground yourself, not in stress, not in noise, not in reaction, in stillness. A quiet mind does not mean an empty mind. A quiet mind means a controlled mind. Sit with yourself for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes. No scrolling, no rushing, just breathing, just presence, just awareness. Stillness trains your emotional strength. It teaches your body to stay calm when pressure comes later. Because if you cannot handle silence in the morning, you cannot handle chaos in the afternoon. Stillness is not a ritual. Stillness is training. Training your emotions to obey your intention. Napoleon Hill believed that calmness is the foundation of power, and power begins in the first quiet moments of your day. The fifth morning law: affirm what you are becoming, not random affirmations, identity affirmations. Words that speak directly to your future self. Not I hope, not I wish, not I want, but I am becoming, I am growing, I am focusing, I am strengthening, I am developing discipline. Because your morning words shape your morning energy. And your morning energy shapes your entire day. This is not magic. This is mental conditioning. This is identity architecture. This is how you shape who you will become. Through the words you repeat to yourself every morning before life has the chance to distract you. These are not empty lines. These are reminders, anchors, blueprints. You must speak to the version of yourself you are stepping into. Because if you never affirm who you are becoming, you remain who you were yesterday. Now listen closely. We are building something bigger here. Not just a morning routine, but a morning identity. An identity is the root of every consistent habit, every disciplined action, every life-changing decision. But we are not finished, not even close. Because in part 3, we step into the deeper mastery. The emotional strength and mental precision that Napoleon Hill believed separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. Part 3 is where you learn how to protect your morning mindset, how to block the distractions that break your focus, how to build a level of discipline that becomes unshakable, how to stop falling back into old patterns, how to transform your morning ritual into a lifestyle. If Part 2 strengthened your mind, Part 3 will strengthen your identity. You've begun to understand the architecture of powerful mornings, but now we reach the part that most people never touch: the inner guardianship of your mind. Because it's one thing to start your morning with intention, and another thing entirely to protect that intention against everything that tries to weaken it throughout the day. Part 3 is not about routine, it's about resilience. It's about building a morning mind so strong that the world cannot pull you back into old patterns. And hear me clearly: if your mindset is fragile, your morning will break the moment pressure appears. If your mindset is strong, your morning will carry you through anything. That strength, that inner steadiness, that clarity, that unshakable calm must be built deliberately. It does not show up on its own, and it does not stay unless you guard it. So today we step into the deeper layer, the emotional discipline Napoleon Hill believed was the master key to success, the ability to direct your mood, your thoughts, and your reactions from the moment the day begins. This is the part where you rise. This is the part where you sharpen. This is the part where your mornings turn into a weapon, a shield, a foundation strong enough to hold your potential. Listen closely. First, don't let yesterday into today. Most people begin their day already defeated, not because something bad happens, but because they carry the weight of yesterday into the morning that was supposed to set them free. They wake up thinking about yesterday's mistakes, yesterday's stress, yesterday's conflicts, yesterday's emotions, and without realizing it, they let yesterday's identity dictate today's destiny. You cannot allow that. Every morning must begin with a mental reset. Yesterday is done. Today is mine. Not today might be mine. Not I hope today is better. Not I wish things were different. No, a clear, firm inner declaration. Today is mine. You cut the link between yesterday's patterns and today's potential. You refuse to enter the new day wearing the mindset of the old one, because carrying yesterday into today is the fastest way to remain the same. And you are not here to remain the same. You are here to rise. Protect your morning from emotional noise. Life is full of noise. Messages, notifications, opinions, demands, judgments, expectations. Most people let this noise rush into their mind the moment they wake up, and then they wonder why they feel scattered. Let me tell you a truth most people never realize. Your mind is most vulnerable in the first hour of the day. Whatever enters it first shapes the rest of your day. This means your morning must be protected, guarded, respected. Do not let your mind become a hallway where everyone else's thoughts walk freely. Do not let emotional noise be the first thing you consume. Your morning clarity is too precious to give away. Guard it, protect it, honor it. Direct your inner dialogue before it directs you every morning. There is a voice inside you that tries to pull you back into comfort. Stay where you are. You can do it later. You don't need to push today. It's fine to skip this one time. This voice is not your enemy, but it is not your leader either. It is simply a part of you that wants ease more than growth. And if you do not direct this voice, it will direct you. Your morning must include a moment of conscious direction, where you speak to yourself with strength, with clarity, with intention, not in anger, not in shame, not in pressure, but with leadership. You are the leader of your mind. Speak like it. Tell yourself, I am in control today. I choose my direction. I choose my discipline. I choose what type of day I will live. Words create momentum. Momentum creates identity. Identity creates destiny. Your day begins with the conversation you have with yourself. Train your attention like a muscle. One of the greatest secrets Napoleon Hill taught is that attention is a currency. Where it goes, your life goes. What you feed grows. What you starve disappears. But almost no one trains their attention. They let it scatter, drift, jump, react. This is why people feel unfocused. Not because they lack ability, but because they have never trained the muscle that makes focus possible. Your morning must include at least one moment where you practice attention. Read something meaningful. Reflect on one idea. Focus on one breath. Write one thought. Repeat one affirmation, not because the action is magical, but because the discipline of attention is the foundation of every powerful day. When your attention becomes sharp, your life becomes sharp. THEFH mean GUARD, strengthen your emotional posture every morning. Your emotions begin in a neutral state, but the world tries quickly to tilt them. Frustration, anxiety, pressure, impatience. If you do not set your emotional posture early, you will bend under small challenges. Emotional posture is the way you hold yourself internally. It's the way you decide to feel before the day can influence you. Every morning, ask yourself, how do I choose to feel today? Not reactively, not unconsciously, not based on weather, mood, or circumstance, but deliberately. I choose calm. I choose confidence. I choose steadiness. I choose focus. I choose patience. And as you choose, you begin to embody. And as you embody, your day begins to align. Emotion is not something that happens to you. Emotion is something you can train. And training begins every morning. THCIX each me and guard. Reject the identity that no longer serves you. Every morning is a negotiation between who you were and who you are becoming. Old habits will try to pull you back. Old thoughts will try to whisper. Old patterns will try to regain control. But every morning you get one moment, one powerful moment, where you can say no. No to the version of you that procrastinates. No to the version that avoids responsibility. No to the version that stays small. No to the version that doubts, delays, and drifts. You must reject the identity that no longer belongs to your future, because if you don't reject it, you repeat it. And mornings are where repetition begins. THDH choose and promise to yourself, and keep it. Your life does not change when you keep promises to others. Your life changes when you keep promises to yourself. Every morning, choose one small promise, one action you will take no matter what, not for achievement, not for productivity, for identity. Every promise kept builds self-trust. Every promise broken weakens self-belief. If you want to transform your life, start with one promise every morning that you refuse to break. One promise is the seed of discipline, and discipline is the seed of destiny. Now hear this, because it is the heartbeat of part 3. Your morning is not just a routine. It is the training ground of your identity. It shapes your thoughts, your emotions, your choices, your direction, your internal strength. And once identity begins to shift, discipline becomes natural. Focus becomes instinctive. Growth becomes inevitable. But we are still not finished, because in part 4, we step into the final phase, the transformation of your morning into a lifestyle. Not something you try, something you live. Not something you follow, something you embody. Now we arrive at the final ascent, the peak of everything you've been building. Your clarity, your discipline, your identity, your inner direction. You've awakened your mornings. You've aligned your thoughts. You've begun guarding your mind like something sacred. But none of this becomes a life change until your mornings turn into momentum, and your momentum turns into a lifestyle. Because transformation is not about what you do once. It is about what you do again and again until it becomes your nature. And that is the essence of part 4. Not morning rituals, not mindset tricks, not temporary motivation, but lasting identity. A lifestyle of morning mastery, a lifestyle of direction and intention, a lifestyle built by choice, not chance. A lifestyle you step into, one morning at a time. Tonight we complete the journey. Tonight we bring your mornings to their highest purpose, creating the version of you that your future requires. Listen closely. THE turn your mornings into momentum. A good morning gives you a good day, but a disciplined morning gives you a new life. Why? Because mornings multiply. One intentional morning leads to another. 2 lead to rhythm. 10 lead to consistency. 30 lead to identity. And identity, that is where destiny is shaped. People don't change because they want to. People change because their identity shifts. And your identity shifts each morning that you choose discipline over distraction, purpose over autopilot, stillness over noise, direction over drifting. Every morning is a vote cast for the person you are becoming, and eventually the votes add up. Eventually your identity changes. Eventually you transform, not through luck, not through waiting, through repetition, through commitment, through morning after morning after morning of choosing your future self over your current comfort. This is momentum, self-generated, self-sustained, self-propelling. You become your own engine. If there is one truth you take from this entire journey, let it be this: your future is built on self-trust. Your future depends on believing that you will show up for yourself day after day regardless of mood or convenience. Morning rituals are not about the actions themselves. They are about the message behind the action. I can count on myself. I follow through. I am consistent. I keep my word. Because when you trust yourself, you become unstoppable. And mornings are the training ground where that trust is earned. Every time you get up on time, you build trust. Every time you begin your day intentionally, you build trust. Every time you choose discipline over delay, you build trust. Self-trust is the quiet confidence that makes discipline feel natural instead of forced. And once you have it, you carry it everywhere. Into school, into work, into relationships, into dreams, into challenges, into every part of your life. Your morning is the mirror where you see whether you trust yourself. Your future is not waiting somewhere far away. It is being shaped each morning you rise with intention and purpose. The person you want to be. More confident, more focused, more patient, more disciplined, more powerful. That version of you begins with the choices you make in the first hour of your day. Your future self walks in the footsteps you create every morning. You want clarity, create it in the morning. You want discipline, train it in the morning. You want emotional strength, build it in the morning. You want confidence, choose it in the morning. You want a meaningful life, start it in the morning. Because mornings are not about routines. They are about shaping identity, and identity shapes destiny. There is a moment each morning when the world is still quiet, and your mind has not yet been influenced by anyone else's noise. This moment is sacred. This moment is powerful. This moment is yours. In this moment you can let go of doubt. You can release the weight of yesterday. You can forgive yourself. You can decide your direction. You can choose what kind of human you will be today. This is where limits dissolve, not because the world changes, but because you change. You choose a stronger mindset, a clearer intention, a cleaner start, a calmer heart. The morning is your rebirth, quietly, daily, repeatedly, until the new version of you becomes permanent. No one becomes disciplined overnight. No one becomes focused overnight. No one becomes powerful overnight. Greatness grows. Identity develops. Strength matures. And it happens through practice, not in the noisy, overwhelming moments, but in the quiet, controlled, intentional moments you carve out for yourself each morning. You practice focus. You practice discipline. You practice calm. You practice clarity. Practice becomes pattern. Pattern becomes lifestyle. Lifestyle becomes identity. And identity becomes destiny. No one can choose it for you. No one can wake up and breathe intention into your day. No one can guard your thoughts. No one can build your clarity. No one can shape your identity. Only you can. Your mornings do not change because you learned something new. They change because you decided something new. Every morning is a decision, a declaration, a commitment. This is who I am becoming. This is how I choose to live. This is the energy I bring into today. Your life changes when you decide that your mornings are no longer negotiable, not optional, not occasional, not depending on mood, a commitment, a lifestyle, a discipline. Your mornings become the foundation of the life you are building. And once the foundation strengthens, nothing can shake you. This is the moment where you shift. This is where the journey becomes real. This is where you feel yourself standing taller inside, because now you understand the truth: your mornings are the birthplace of your future. Your discipline is the architect of your destiny. Your intention is the compass of your identity. Your identity is the engine of your entire life. And when you protect your morning, you protect your potential. When you claim your morning, you claim your direction. When you direct your morning, you direct your destiny. So rise into who you are becoming. Rise into discipline, rise into clarity, rise into purpose, rise into your future. Because you now hold the key to changing your life. Not someday, not later, not eventually, but every single morning. You are ready, you are capable, you are growing, you are rising, and your life will never be the same again.